Hey, welcome to the PFO channel. I'm Jim. Well, today I'm sitting out here in our 2013 Toyota Venza, and the reason I'm doing that is that I need to hook up our OBD2 sensor and scan this for codes. We just got back from a quite stressful drive home from Montana. Parked it at our kid's place and didn't start it again the whole week we were out there. But I was still surprised when we jumped in it to head home, it didn't want to start. And I just started cranking it over and over and over, and it just gave us fits. But we finally detected a pop or two, so I kind of reluctantly gave it some gas pedal, which on a fuel injected car you're really not supposed to do that. And I did manage to get it started, and it ran really bad for the first couple of minutes, but as it warmed up it started smoothing out, and after a while it would idle just fine. So we thought, well, how hard could it be? Let's head for home. Even though it's a 30-hour drive, it's over 1,600 miles, we headed home. Then we spent the night, and the next morning it started really hard again. But once it warmed up, it was fine. Third morning, same thing. Really bad start first thing in the morning, then it ran fine. We did manage to get it home. It was a pretty stressful 3-day trip, but here we are. So it's the next morning here, and I'm going to see if it's going to do the same thing. All right, so the first thing here is to see if it's going to do its thing. I need to turn this camera around. Okay, engine start stop. This is the push button style. Now see, it's just going to crank. All right, now it stopped cranking. That times out when you do a crank. So it didn't start. And you can see I've got a whole bunch of warning lights. I'm going to hook up my code scanner and see what kind of codes I can get and start the routine of troubleshooting, see if I can figure out what's the matter with it. Okay, I've got my OBDLink. I need to connect 2013 Toyota Venza. All right, diagnostics, select all, okay. Current codes, scanning. All right, here we got some codes. First one is engine coolant temperature circuit high input. Okay, that's what I expected to see, because the problem that we had coming back from Montana was only when the engine was cold. The next one, engine control system malfunction. Okay, that's not very specific. I'm not sure what that could be. You know, something just occurred to me. I'm looking at these codes here, and this language about a circuit high input on this engine coolant temperature circuit, that seems very reminiscent. I just got done just a few weeks ago scanning the codes on the FJ Cruiser, and that was giving me a code indicating that it was getting a high circuit or a high input from one of the camshaft position sensors. And I just put a video out on where I diagnosed that as mouse chewed wires on one of the camshaft position sensors. So now, seeing this code saying circuit high input on whatever, engine coolant temperature, I'm starting to smell a rat, or more specifically, a mouse. I think I'm going to switch gears here, and I'm going to pop the hood and start looking for chewed wires. I got a bad feeling that I know what I'm about to find. Oh, you know what? If you were to go to the PFO channel homepage and look at the shorts shelf, there's another video in there from just a few months ago of me setting a trap in this exact car and catching a mouse. All right, let's pop the hood and start checking wires. Oh, on it. Stupid mice. That's why we put the owl boxes up around here. They're supposed to be eating these mice. That's probably mass airflow sensor right there. Wires look good on that. I don't know what that thing even is. Oh, that is connected to intake plenum just downstream of the throttle body, but the wires look good. I don't know what that thing is, but the wires don't look good. Aha! Okay, looky here, guys. Look what I just found. That wire is a no-go. And that's something related to the vacuum system. I know a lot of the engine controls are dependent on vacuum, so this broken wire right here could explain that engine control system malfunction code that we just saw. Get some good pictures of that so that I can identify it and find a replacement for it. So I'm going to try to find the engine coolant sensor. There's the radiator hose coming out there, and there's the probably that hex nut threaded into the side of that water manifold. Oh, good grief! Oh man, that's got to be a chew. Look at that. Let me get that off of there. That's a chew. There's no way that broke back in there. Holy smokes. Why do they chew them off so dang close to the connectors? Alright, now I got to figure out where the wire is. Okay, there's the white is where I just unplugged that. And oh, way down in there, little short stub there. And it looks like they're chewed off at that end too. Wait a minute. Okay, what's that? Laying down. Get the claw. Oh man. Look at this. Mice completely chewed both ends of that wire off. Oh, but that bugger down there, there is almost no length left for me to deal with down there. All right, well, I've got some shopping to do for some fittings. All right, so I've identified a couple of the sensors that have been mouse chewed. So I ordered some parts off of Amazon, and I got them in now, so let's see what we got. I got the plugs that I need and some tools. I'll put the links below in the description. I'm going to try to do this without disassembling the whole air box. I got this, it's a No Easy brand automatic wire stripper. And it looks in the pictures like one that I can use one-handed and straight on. So these are the connectors themselves. They're all taped up. And I got a pack of 2. These are the connectors that go on the, it's a vacuum switching solenoid. And it's right up top, and so that'll give me plenty of room. And there's one more. Okay. All right, that's my other sensor. Let me match that up to the one that they chewed off completely. And that looks like a perfect fit. So we'll try that out in a second. The locator tab is on the top there. Lines up with that fin. Heard a nice snap, so that's a good fit. Perfect. Now this other one is down deep. Can you see that there? Okay, that's also a perfect fit. I'm looking around on the top of this engine right now, and I'm feeling really vulnerable. Look at this. There's sensors all over this thing. This is nothing but a bunch of mouse food. A little mouse could come in here and chew wires until his evil little heart's content. And there's not a thing I can do about it. Or is there? I mean, I need to go searching now for some method of keeping the mice from chewing up everything under the hood of my vehicles. If you have some insight into that or things that you've tried that have been successful, please let us know in the comments below. Help me out there, guys. I can see the wire that I gotta hit. Yeah, it's not quite to my elbow. So this is the connector, and down in there past it, that right there is the stub end of the two wires that I've got to get a connector on. Now these are black and black, and those down there are green with a black stripe and white with a black stripe. I still need my old one here for reference. If I put the locking tab on the top, then I got white with a black stripe on the left, green with a black stripe on the right. All right, so I need to orient that accordingly and mark these. Right now, I'm trying to decide if it's ridiculous to think that I'd be able to do a heat shrink down in there without touching all the wrong stuff. So this is my heat gun. If I could make an extension on that, a foot long, I could direct that hot air right down there exactly where I need it. Yeah, 1 3/8-ish. All right, so this is an old dryer vent outlet. All right, so it looks like I have my stripping method, my butt joint connection method, and my heat shrink method right there. All right, now comes the time for me to let this thing shine, hopefully. Do what I got it for. I got to reach down in there. And you're probably not going to be able to see this. I can't imagine that I'm going to be able to see this very well. Yeah. Oh, this is tight. Okay, I got the white one stripped. Get the green one lined up. If that stub was any shorter, I would not be able to do this at all. I got it. I got them both stripped. Look at that. See how this side is a smaller diameter already than this side? I'll put this side in first, and you see I put it all the way up to where the copper is in the solder collar area, and that holds that tight against this insulation out here. That way, and it'll take quite a bit of in-force on there, so I should be able to go in there now and run these down over top of the ones in there, and that tighter end on here will hold it in place, and the wider end will help funnel the other one into it. And I do need to try to twist those together just a little bit down there. I cannot see what I'm doing at all. I'm just going by feel. Part of the problem is my fingers are so darn cold out here, but I got just the thing for that. I need to get a couple of these little hotties, disposable hand warmer. Get one of them. I always keep one of them in my coat pocket this time of year. Okay, it's warming up. You know, compared to my house, this is nothing that I would consider warm and cozy under the hood of this, but I suppose if you're a mouse, you're comparing it to something different than my living room. At least I hope so. If you're not, then I've got a bigger problem in the house I need to go deal with, right? Okay, got a little feeling back in my fingers. White one. White is on the left down there. Okay, I think I nailed it. Yeah, that's good. A couple of the strands have curled up and didn't go through the collar, but when that collar melts, that solder should wet the whole thing down. It's time to bring in the big gun and apply some heat. I put a little bit of aluminum tape down the hole just tucked it in behind where I'm going to be soldering, just to protect the rest of that wiring harness from excessive heat. Oh my gosh, this is taking up all of my view. I hear an owl calling across the road. I must be just about out of daylight, eh? Alrighty. Let's see how that looks. Thanks, Gorilla. Go stand over there for now. You did a great job. That wasn't me, that was Gorilla. Alright, I've got full shrinkage along the entire length of the heat shrink tubes, and I can see I have melted the solder collars, and it looks like it has wetted the copper strands up both ends. So that, I would say, is a successful set of butt joints. Give the Gorilla some more. Stand right here. Don't let anybody in or out until I get back. No, I'm sorry. Wrong story. Ain't room in here for the two of us, Mr. Gorilla Man. I think I'm probably well below the minimum recommended working temperature for electrical tape. I probably have to do that again after it warms up next summer. All right, we're going to plug it in. And I'm going to put a zippy tie around that. Oh, this is going to be tricky. Oh my goodness. Oh, crap, I'm getting myself into. How hard could it be? How hard could it be? Okay, have you ever done up a wire tie one-handed? Ooh, hear that noise? That's the sound of a zip tie zipping with only one human hand anywhere near it. Well, this one's near it, but not near enough to be much help. And I didn't even drop the tail end down there. All right, so that's the hard one done. I like starting with the hardest one first because then it makes the rest of the job seem like it just sails right on through. I probably shouldn't say that out loud yet, should I? Well, let's do the easy one now. We have a little seat here. All the kids got married and moved out away from home. Well, I should word that differently because all the kids have got married and moved away from home, but one of them left his drum set in the basement. So the least I can do is make use of his drum throne. As my light fades. All right, cover's back on. Now it's time to start it up and see if the error codes are cleared. Purring like a kitten. You know, I've seen on Facebook Marketplace people giving away barn cats. Do you know of anybody giving away an engine compartment cat? It's totally dark in here now, but I used my scanning tool here to clear the codes, and that took away all the warning lights on the dash. So I believe we have found and fixed all the mouse damage.